They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. Keep the vibes and I stood my ground. They will never ever take my crown. Oh, Jah bless, I say no man curse. Things getting better when they thought it would be worse. Here comes the officers asking for a search. They found no weapon, just only a draw first. But I'm so solid as a rock, they just can't stop me now. Even when they set their traps, they just can't stop me now. People will say this and that, they just can't stop me now. Even when they set up roadblocks, they just can't stop me now.
So, this segment here, I'm basically going to be talking about, because remember, Brandon says that you're guilty by political affiliation. Again, I'm going to reiterate that racism and the whole LGBTQ plus agenda and grooming children sexually is just extremely problematic and disturbing. And we have to fight it on all fronts. Not put it second place or whatever. We're African people here. We can fight. We fight numerous battles if we want to or not. It's only the cowards that pick and choose what battle to fight, which really makes no sense. It's counterproductive, right? So, as you see right here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have all the high-profile Democratic politicians that been caught for sexual misconduct, let's look for some pedophilia, all of that. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to look at the Democratic Party, and we're going to look at the Republican Party. We're going to look at the LGBTQ movement, sexual harassment, rape, pedophilia. We're going to look at all of that, right? So let's start. So right here, in my state here, Mario Cuomo. We all know Mario Cuomo, even, before in the past, I think even before Me Too, they had people saying that how, he had, was doing a lot of very inappropriate things, and what did he do? He was shamed out of existence and he resigned. No one tell him to resign. I mean, people would tell him to resign, but at least he had enough shame to eventually just say, you know what? I'm going to leave, whatever. Let me at least try to have some respect, leave the office respectably and yada, yada, yada. Let's be about the business of New York, and me being here is too problematic. So, whatever. So, he left. He skedaddled. Right? I remember this guy. Hold up. I don't know what happened her. This guy right here. And they're happy Fox, well, it's not Fox News, it's Fox 9, but a subsidiary of Fox News, they're happy. So right now, Al Franken, how long ago was this? 2019. But Al Franken, same thing. Oh, sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, yada, yada, yada. What did he do? He says, all right, fine, whatever. Okay, yeah. I got Me Too, whatever. Let me go. I'll be out of here, whatever. I'm going to leave. Right? He left. Right? Okay. Anthony Weiner, which I liked him. He was a good politician, but if we all know about Anthony Weiner, it's like, whoa, okay. Very problematic there. You know, he was posting topless, and he was sending it to minors. I believe that's what it was, and I think he did it again one time. I'm like, oh my God, come on, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So he resigned, right? Who else we got here? We got John Conyers. John Conyers, he's historic, right? The longest member of the Black Caucus or whatever. And they said he you know, many people, you know, women said that, you know, there was a lot of sexual misconduct, whatever. What did he do? He retired. Retired quick, same thing. He left, right? He did a lot of horrific, inappropriate things according to the women and whatever, and he's a man of power, so on and so forth, right? He left. Who else do we have? Right now, those are like the high profile ones, you know, as far as like John Conyers is concerned. So we could see that, yeah, the Democrats do that. You know, I think the closest thing was like maybe Anthony Weiner, right? You know, with some little young kid shit, and Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton knew, I don't know how, no one really knows how close a relationship or the relationship Bill Clinton had with Jeffrey Epstein, and people think that's probably why he killed him, because Jeffrey Epstein was friends with Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and a whole bunch of other people. And we all know who Jeffrey Epstein is, which now leads me to the other part of this segment. All right? Matt Gaetz. We all know who Matt Gaetz is. So now we're going to do the Republicans. Matt Gaetz is a pedophile. Right? To the point where his future sister-in-law slams pedophile congressman on TikTok. Right? Matt Gaetz fucks with teenagers. Right? Oh, crap. Yeah, I don't know, New York Post. Right? So we see here Republican Matt Gaetz' sister-in-law has reportedly described the congressman as weird and creepy, and said she was unfortunately not surprised. He is under federal investigation for alleged sex crimes since 20. Right here, you can read all that. Right? On Monday, she alleged that has pursued an older man to court when she was 19. So he's a pedophile, right? He's a certified pedophile. Anyone knows about Matt Gaetz know what's going on, right? And the Justice Department is investigating him. There's other people that are also in jail for that, right? So so yeah, she looks crazy. When creepy old man tries to hit on you at the bar, but your sister's engaged to a literal pedophile. You know what I'm saying? So Matt Gaetz is a pedophile, right? So already he's fucking in it too deep. You're with the party of fucking pedophiles right now, right? You don't care about racism, and you certainly don't care about fucking kids. Neither of you. Who's next? Who is next? What do we have here? Another thing, you know, with Matt Gaetz, right? Matt Gaetz under investigation for sexual relationship with 17-year-old. Right? I almost forgot about this one. Right? Yahoo News, nothing really biased or anything right here. Right? You guys could look at it. So it says the investigation was started in the final months of the Trump administration under the Attorney General William Barr. The Times reported the agency is looking into whether Gates, a close ally of former president, violated federal sexual trafficking laws by paying for young women to travel with him outside of Florida. You guys are fucking pedophiles. You guys are with the party of fucking pedophiles, and you're pretending that you care about kids. If you didn't know this, you need to shut the fuck up and change fucking parties right now. But no, don't go nowhere. It gets worse. We all remember Roy Moore. We all remember Roy Moore, right? We all remember Roy Moore. Remember Roy Moore? He was about to run, I think, for Senate, right? And as he's running for Senate, all the women came out saying like, "Hey, look, he tried to rape me when I was a kid." And all these things. You have several women, not women, came out saying that this is what Roy Moore did. You know what you degenerate fucking Republicans did? You voted. No. I think y'all voted for him anyway. I could be wrong. Don't hold me accountable for that. I'm only human. I make mistakes. I'm not a Republican. Sorry. But this is Roy Moore, right? And y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care about fucking kids. You don't care about protecting women. You don't care about that because the people who you elect and love don't care about children. So who's next? Oh, we're off to our boy. We're all to our boy Trump, right? So right here, we all know that Trump went in and pretty much just walked in on teenagers, 15-year-old girls. Well, let's hear what they got to say. Right, former Miss Teen USA. Sorry for that. Teen USA contestants claim former Miss Teen USA contestants, plural, claim Donald Trump walked in on them changing. 15-year-old girls. This bitch ass lonesome motherfucker Brandon, I remember him saying, "Oh well, he was judging the pageant, so he needed to look." I'm like, what? This is crazy. This is crazy. 15 years, you have no business as a grown man being around a dressing room with minors. As you stay away far from that. You stay away far from them. I'm like, yo, this is absolutely crazy, right? And you got Trump minions and all these people, they're gonna justify that. They're gonna justify that because they're loathsome and they're deplorable. They're deplorable. Hillary Clinton, if Hillary Clinton was right about anything, she's right about Republicans being deplorables. Because this is deplorable, disgusting behavior, right? It's deplorable, disgusting behavior. But wait, it gets worse.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are. Yeah. Well, you're known for saying outrageous things, Mr. Trump. Who are you, Woody Allen?
Look at him. Ivanka is smiling, all uncomfortable, and Trump said, "Is that bad? Is that bad? Is that bad?" For those of you who don't know who Woody Allen is old school director that he adopted this Asian girl, right? And when I think she turned 18 or 17, he married her, which means that something was going on way before that. Like, but do you hear this? He said he will fuck his daughter if it wasn't his daughter. Who looks at their daughter like that? Like, are you serious? Like, in case you didn't hear it.
Not too much. First First of all, I like her very
Hold
much.
on, let me play that back.
I thought it was a little unusual.
It's
to
Michelle
have
Obama. You know, black
politics
people,
mixed with
black
movies.
Republicans don't like other black people in
If
power.
Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know,
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are.
daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know, or my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know, Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know,
Stop it.
Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know,
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are. Yeah.
Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Stop it.
Yes, he is sick. That's a sick thing to say. And the fact that he's not ashamed to say something like that, like, it's like, what? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Right? And this is old. This is old stuff. This is old stuff that we all know. But we have people that are within a cult called the Trump cult don't care. They don't care about people in their party being rapists. They don't care about their president wanting to fuck their own daughter. They don't care about their president walking in on 15-year-old girls naked. They don't care. Everything they do is pure projection. They think like, oh, well, we have got people within the Republican Party that are pedophiles and rapists and want to have sex with children. So Democrats must be doing the same thing too. It's always all projection. This is sick.
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are. Yeah.
Or my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know,
Stop it.
Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are. Yeah.
And he's laughing. And he's laughing. I don't want, for any of you that are in the middle of Democrat or Republican, I say don't vote for anyone until you get like a real viable candidate. This alone should just turn your fucking stomach. This alone. Oh, but not finished yet, though. Right here. So, Trump doubles down on well wishes for alleged sex trafficker Galshan. Who is that? Let's find out who that is. Sorry for this damn commercial.
Mr. President, the other day a reporter asked you about Ghislaine Maxwell. You said, quote, "I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, but I wish her well, whatever it is." Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child sex trafficking. Why would you wish such a
Well, first
person
of all, I
well?
don't know that, but I do know that
She has. She's been arrested for that. You know
her
that.
friend or boyfriend
Epstein.
was either killed or committed suicide in jail. She's now in jail.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well.
Song about Jeffrey Epstein, and you can see he's using the same tactic. Remember, this says he doubles down, right? He's just saying the same thing at the Charlottesville when you had black people and upstanding white people standing on the side of us for racist Confederate monuments, right? And the alt-right, KKK, and all those other people and white nationalists was there fighting them and beating up. And he said, well, there's good people on both sides. There's good people on both sides. But look, right now, I'm not talking to convince Brandon or not probably even the Jamaican girl, right? I'm talking to appease to the audience, right? He's using the same excuse because, he's a lost cause. You know what I'm saying? He's a coon. He's proud of it. He's vocal about it. That's fine. You're not for black people. You are for the Republican Party by hook or by crook. And I'm glad you said that because everyone. That's why, like, you think that you're smart or that you're just a genius when it comes to politics. No, people know how you are. That's why the only people, even people that you talk about politics with, they don't disagree with you. They don't agree with you. They let you go and they get back to topic. The only people that agree with you is fucking Caligenesis, which is some old fool that doesn't know what he's talking about half of the times, and a bunch of coons. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So Trump is using the same excuse, but let's go ahead. You know what I'm saying? He's, according to Brandon, he's the best president in the world. A president want to fuck his daughter, walking on 15-year-olds and wishes on people that does sex trafficking for Jeffrey Epstein, which is a sex trafficker that's in jail right now, is the best president ever, according to Brandon. So let's Trump tell it. Let his God tell it.
Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, do you know that?
Oh, so you're saying you hope she doesn't die in jail? Is that what you mean by wish her well?
Her boyfriend died in jail, and people are still trying to figure out, how did it happen? Was it suicide? Was he killed? And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody. And they took that and
she's
made
a child alleged child sex
such a big deal. But all it is her boyfriend died.
The man keeps saying, but she assisted Jeffrey Epstein in child sex trafficking. Why are you wishing anybody well that was transporting kids in sex trafficking? According to Brandon, the Republican Party, one party is against that, and the other party is for that, right? Party as a whole, right? But here you have the leader of your party, and he wishes pedophiles and people who do child sex rings and pedophilia, he's wishing them well. He's wishing them well. And like I'm saying, like the same thing when he says total projection, I think when these people vote for like Donald Trump and things like that, I think they're pedophiles themselves. Because you cannot, how can you know these things about Donald Trump and still vote for him? You know what I'm saying? I believe people like that are pedophiles themselves. And if they have children, they should be investigated. I feel they should be investigated. If you support a person that on numerous accounts condone and actually wants to have sex with his own daughter, if you admire that person, if you got kids, you should be immediately investigated.
He died in jail. Was he killed? Was it suicide? I do. I wish her well.
And there you have it, folks. There you have it. This is just totally inexcusable. Totally inexcusable. I like, can someone look again? I'm not saying one party is better than the other. I say you fight racism and pedophilia on both fronts, right? But please show me the Democratic version of this bullshit. Please show me the Democratic version of this shit. I showed you from my recollection. Let me know, if I missed anybody, of what the Democrats have done. And Jeffrey Epstein, he knew Bill Clinton and other people. Like, okay, Jeffrey Epstein, what were you doing with Jeffrey Epstein becomes the question. Just like R. Kelly, back in 97, I was with R. Kelly. Like, whoa, okay. What were you doing with R. Kelly? That's a legitimate question. How old were you in 97? Oh, I was 15 in 97. Oh, whoa, what were you doing with R. Kelly? That's not a crazy question. That's not something that you shouldn't speculate or anything like that. And it's the same thing right here. The same thing goes right here. He Donald Trump hangs with Jeffrey Epstein. He knows Jeffrey Epstein, but okay, that's guilt by association, right? And then he gets in trouble for sex trafficking, and the person who was helping with the sex trafficking, he wishes them well. He doesn't say, look, in the whole thing, he didn't say, well, what she did was horrible. What Jeffrey Epstein did was horrible. No, I wish her well. I wish no harm on anybody. This is what he was saying. On top of walking in on 15-year-old girls saying that he likes some young. There's another article saying that Jeffrey, he likes some young like me. Trump said that. He likes some young like me. That's why he wants to fuck his daughter. That's why he's walking on little Miss USA pageants. But these people are supposed to be the arbiter and the vanguards of children? Get the fuck out of here, yo. You guys need to shut the fuck up when it comes to morality, especially Republicans. You have no right to place moral condemnation on anybody. I don't care if it's politics or anything. If you try to condemn someone in the same breath while from a Republican political perspective, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're lonesome. You are despicable. You are despicable, and you need to be investigated for child molestation and child pedophilia if you are standing by the Republican Party, especially Donald Trump. But we're going to get back to the discussion that we were having. So now you guys have full context of why I was trying to keep it cool, but it was obviously going south, and he would not let me talk, as you can see. So let's get back to it. I also forgot about this piece of shit. You see this shit? The Republican Supreme Court Justice, y'all got a rapist Supreme Court Justice. He said he pulled down his pants and thrust his penis at her at another time at a different Yale party. Y'all are the party of rapists, pedophiles, and child fuckers. That's what your party is. Again, and I say, show me a Democratic version of this shit. Please do. Right there, several people. If you guys don't remember that hearing, I remember that hearing. Several people collaborated with that story. People knew about that. It wasn't like, oh, something between him and her and no one else knows. Several people knew about this when it happened that night. Same thing with Roy Moore. When he tried to rape that woman. The people went home. Usually, unfortunately, some rape victims, they don't tell people, but these people told people, and these people already knew, right? So it's not, well, only him and her, only they know. Is a he say, she said situation. It is not. It is not. You see? Other people knew about it. Christine Blasey Ford, y'all know her. This guy is a serial rapist, yo. Because I remember that one. He tried to, and then she ended up, I think she said she kind of liked him and stuff like that, yada yada yada, and stuff like that. And I think someone came in and intervened and stuff like that. But she said if that person didn't, he would have went through with it and stuff like that. You guys, you fucking pieces of shit Republicans are the fucking worst. Are the worst. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying all of you that look the other way, all of you is going to make an excuse right now. All of you that never condemned it, you guys are pieces of shit. I don't care about no fucking Joe Biden. I don't care about no fucking LGBTQ. Guess what? The whole group of LGBTQ, and Joe Biden hasn't raped anybody. Joe Biden do a lot of creepy shit. Yeah, he does. He does a lot of creepy shit. But guess what? Now one person says that Joe Biden wanted to walk in on 15-year-old girls. Joe Biden never said he wanted to fuck his daughter. Joe Biden never said all these things. Joe Biden don't wish child sex traffickers well. Fuck you motherfuckers, yo. Fuck y'all. Y'all some sick pieces of shit. Trump weighed in on the reportedly corroborated allegations, calling them false. The bastard wasn't there, but Trump is a / rapist, child fucking pedophile. He's a child fucker and a pedophile. So of course he's gonna cover up for his boy. Of course he's gonna cover up for his boy. You know what I'm saying? Birds of a feather, right? Birds of a feather. Yeah, that went nowhere. That impeachment, so-called impeachment, but because why? The Democrats are really too weak to hold them to task, right? So nothing's really going to. Republicans, as deplorables as they are, right? Thank you, Hillary Clinton, for that phrase. They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to do anything about it, because why? Their party over people. Party over their constituents. That's what the Republican Party is about. They're not about protecting people. They're not about putting policy to help their constituents, as far as like poor people and things like that. No. They're about party first and money first for themselves. If you're not on that bandwagon and you're not getting this money, then you're just in the way, and they don't care. They don't care at all, right? So, and remember the other Trump one, where he was going around. Sometimes gotta go to women and just grab him by the pussy. See, when I first heard that, unfortunately, that made me laugh, because I was like, who just goes up to women and grabs them by the pussy? Like, hey, is this yours? Like, what? Like, who does that? Like, that's weird, but obviously Donald Trump does that. So let's see right here.
She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where that's some nice furniture. I took her for I moved.
Ooh, audio's kind of low.
But I couldn't get there, and she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony. And she's totally changed. Whoa, yes. Whoa. Where that's some nice furniture.
I don't know if you can hear this.
I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there, and she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony, and she's totally changed her looks. She's your girl's hottest. In the purple. Whoa! Yes. Whoa!
He said he moves on her like a bitch. Let me see if I get like better audio. But this is the best president of the United States. The best president the United States ever had. Grab a woman by the pussy, want to fuck your daughter, things like that. This is what the type of president this nigga likes. Let me see if I can get like a better video on this. Let's see.
Donald Trump has apologized after the Washington Post released a video in which he talks in vulgar terms about attempted sexual conquests with 2 women. The Republican presidential candidate was recorded in 2005 in a bus before a TV show.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. I did try and if she was married. I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's magnet.
He said he tried to fuck her. He knew she was married. Like, this is the evangelical white Christians always say, you know, these are supposed to be rid of family values, other stuff. But Trump is trying to fuck married women, right? He had sex with a porn star while his wife was pregnant. Again, not my words. This is the best president we ever had. The best president the United States ever had. A man that cheats on his wife while she's pregnant with a porn star. A man that wants to have sex with married women and grab him by the pussy. A man that want to have sex with his own daughter. A man that's engaged with pedophiles and just love pedophiles and wish them well and things like that. This is the best president in the world.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Trump is then seen getting out of.
They let you do it. You could do anything. They let you do it. He's saying that women will just, like women will just let you grab them by the pussy. Okay, player. AKA raper.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. I did try and if she was married. I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Trump is then seen getting out of the bus. His statement plays down the comments, but the apology at the end is extremely rare and suggests he may recognize this could be damaging. His Democratic rival lost no time in condemning him. Hillary Clinton has already highlighted Trump's alleged sexist behavior.
Yeah, yada. I'm trying to find the one where he says he grabbed him by the pussy. Look, this looks like right-wing. This was Euronews. It looked like right-wing Euronews because I don't know why they took that part out where he said you could just grab him by the pussy. Like, that shit was hilarious. Oh man, this is like this is a parody.
Grab him by the pussy. When you're a star, they let you do it. Grab him by the pussy. You can do it. Grab him by the pussy. Hello, how are you? Hi. Grab him by the pussy. Terrific, you're a star. Terrific, you know, baby. Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything.
Yo, that was funny. Yo, what the hell?
Grab him by the pussy. Grab him by the pussy. When you're a star, they let you do it. Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything. Grab him by the pussy. Hello, how are you? Hi. Grab him by the pussy. How are you? Terrific, you're a star. Terrific, you know, baby. Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything.
Yo, that was nuts. Yo, that was crazy. Yo, okay. I think you guys get the gist. But, yeah. So, we're going to get back to the back and forth that we're having, saying that the Democrats are so evil. Oh, my gosh. Why they get, you know, the Republicans are raping women, getting away with rape, being appointed to the highest court in the land, and they still could keep their jobs while they're doing child sex trafficking. No, everyone's doing, all the Republicans doing cover for Matt Gaetz. No one cares if Trump's going around grabbing women by the pussy. They don't care if he wants to fuck his daughter. They don't care about him wishing Jeffrey Epstein and his ex-girlfriend with sex trafficking well. They don't care. They don't care about, well, these particular so-called black people don't care about racism, and they don't care about children. They don't care. It's all a political game. So let's get back to it, y'all. Yo, real quick, right over here, if you can see it, Gears of Truth. Because I don't really pay attention to the chat. The chat ain't shit to me. If you ain't coming up on here, whatever, you're just a punk ass. And you can't back up what you're saying. But Gears of Truth is pretty much saying basically what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? And what he says. It says, do you think voting a specific party will save your bloodline, your dupe? Exactly. Being a parent and being a vanguard for your children, you, not the government or other people, is going to protect you. I just want to add that little gem. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of other little things. We got punk ass Cala Pegasus here and stuff like that. I fucking destroyed him politically. Anyone that follows my channel, when he says all this dumb shit, I just pretty much eviscerate him. Plus, there's other things I even didn't post because it's not really worth it. But he's an undercover FBA bitch. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be all that Pan-Africanism, but everyone, him and Dinus, put on that. They all of a sudden they agree with Tariq Nasheed a billion % when they disagree with me, and then I'm a tether, I'm a this, I need that. Oh, but you're not from here, and all these other things. But I just want to point that little gem out right there. So
the Republicans are racist, because that's all we see is racism. That's all we see all day every day.
But we knew about the pedophilia. So we care more about racism.
Basically.
We pretend, because we don't care about racism. We care more about racism than...
That's me laughing in the background saying this is madness, because all they're doing is purposely distorting what I said. Because I didn't say nothing is more important than the other. I say they're equally bad, but I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of me hearing that. But for the Republicans that are listening, that are very slow, you know, hopefully they get it.
Pedophilia.
Yep.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Kofi. Kofi, are you a cab driver? Kofi.
I heard him. I literally just had to get myself together because he thinks that I'm not a Republican. I don't love abuse. I'm not greedy for abuse. I just have him sit there. I'm sitting there, and he's pretty much lying on me to my virtual face. Then he's going to ask me a question that got nothing to do with all the slander and confusion that he's asking me. So I had to be cordial at this point. And I had to control myself at this point because of his total blatant dishonesty.
I want to defend your slander first before I do anything, because you lied, because you were...
Okay, I'm going to let you defend. I'm going to let you defend, bro. Let's pretend Kofi is a cab driver. Do you think Kofi is turning down money because the guy's a racist? Nope. Wait a minute. All of us go to work. Christine, do you think there are racist people at your job?
Of course.
Will you quit your job because there's racist people there?
I don't give a damn.
Right. So what?
Same question back at you. There are racists at my job. I don't know officially, but I think they are. All right. I can name like 2 people. Right. Are they quitting their jobs because a black guy is there? No. So why am I quitting because they don't like me? You don't like me. Right? So because you don't like me, I have to quit my job because you don't like me. We're talking about co-workers and things like that. Because my boss is Hispanic. So, you know, he ain't the white Hispanic. He's the Moreno, you know, Boricua Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, you know, I don't have to kiss nobody ass. I speak my mind on things like that. So there's other people that I work with, yeah, they're probably racist too. So I'm going to haul ass in the run because they're racist? I mean, they haven't said anything crazy, but just how they move around you kind of says it.
What we do is we try to use racism as an excuse to support pedophilia, because the racism is just so...
He's using racism. He's using this as an excuse. No one's using it as an excuse. He's down with the party of daughter fuckers and pedophiles and kid sex trafficking, as I just proved here.
Unbearable.
Well, we're working for races.
But then in our personal lives, we're not going to acquiesce one thing on behalf of fighting racism. If the nigga could wear a Klan sheet, a hood, if he say, look, we're prepared to offer you $200,000 a year, your ass will be in there throwing up Heil Hitler and everything else for that paycheck.
Speak for yourself as a Republican. That's what you would do.
Our
You
people,
trade your integrity for that.
Listen, I trade my integrity. Our women...
I don't know if he's saying it just to repeat it, because like I said, he is slow politically and he's on the spectrum, but you have to speak for yourself, because why would I look? I have to be in a very desperate situation to do that. Now, if I'm getting a job and I'm job hunting and things like that, and and I don't have a pot to piss in, then hey, this will be my step up until I find something else. I don't know, but from right now, I wouldn't. To me, that's like a no. And for me to be a part of that situation, I'm not going to be a part of that situation. Him, he's a Republican, so it's very simple. He would sell his soul to the highest bidder. You know what I'm saying? He'll sell his soul to the highest bidder, and it be Donald Trump, and he'll be all up Donald Trump's ass, kissing it and licking it. And when Donald Trump gets tired of his ass, he'll throw him under the bus, and guess what? He's still going to defend Donald Trump.
Got treated with racism in hair shops and nail shops all over America. They still going in there. Racism can't keep them out. Racism can't force them up out of there. They could have 2 grand dragons standing at the door doing Heil Hitler with shotguns.
Again, so he's talking about Asian people that are mistreating black women. Now, this happened in my neck of the woods here in Brooklyn, right? So you had a lot of people going out there, was protesting. And yeah, they had some people in there, and those women that were in there were being chastised. Like, you didn't know what they did. You didn't know what they did to us. You know what they did to us and stuff like that. And all that. So a lot of us were like, nah. But they are Negroes among us. Case in point over here. There are Negroes among us. So people are people. People are very dynamic. Not everyone has the same thought process. Some women will go in there like, fuck that nigga, I need to get my nails done. You know what I'm saying? And some people are like, nah, chill. And some people will be like, thinking about it. I don't know. It could be lots of reasons why people would go in and lots of reasons why people would not go in. But again, he has to paint a broad brush.
Still gonna walk up in that shop. Girl, I gotta get my bundles. Why do we like to entertain this bullshit where we pretend that black people do anything based on fighting racism? We are totally fine with racism. Racism is not hurting us enough for us to truly take action based on it. The only thing that we take action on when it comes to racism is using it as an excuse to support pedophilia, child molestation.
So what's your excuse as a Republican to excuse your fellow Republicans like Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz, and all these other people that are rapists and pedophiles? What's your excuse? Because I don't know any Democrat right now specifically that has office wants to promote the things that you want. Now, as constituents, the LGBTQ community, which are the constituents, they would push that. Yes. But I haven't seen, besides that weird, forgot that its name or whatever, that trying to do the hormonal thing. And that's dangerous. He has a position where he could administer things like that to children. And these are things that's not even in law or a law yet. This is more on the LGBTQ grassroots of trying to implement this as like law and politically. So this is we're scared. They are scared of what will happen. But if you could be the vanguards of correctness and stuff like that, again, no problem with that. But once again, they're just shitty, lazy ass parents. Because I'll say, if you got your children in check and you teaching your children and you guiding your children and you telling your children what's right and wrong, you being their first teacher, they're not going to listen to anybody else, not even the teachers in school. Because every time I tell my children something, it could be about school. It could be about, well, did she just say, hey, this guy's picking on me and he hits me? And I don't care what the school says if two people are not supposed to hit. If he hits you, you knock his ass out. Right? My children knows that my word is law over any school teacher, over the principal. I can tell you story for days where my wife mostly, but we be at the school on some, they ain't going down. But if you got parents that are not involved in their children's life and the public school is going to do this, like, oh shit, I guess they're just going to do it because I ain't trying to teach my kids shit.
Indoctrination and LGBTQ+. We voted for a creepy old white man sniffing little girls' hair in the White House because of racism.
Again, Joe Biden is sniffing girls' hair. Trump is grabbing women by the pussy and who knows, want to fuck his daughter. I don't know if he did or didn't. I don't know. But Trump has also been accused of a lot of rape allegations. He loves pedophiles, wishes them well. So, I don't know where he's coming from with all this. This is like fear mongering of what might happen, and he's not challenging his party of what's actually going on, of his people in his party being pedophiles, a part of pedophile rings.
Did you see the diary?
When Trump is not a pedophile, judging girl pageants, walking in on them. Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah, I just said, see, Trump, he's talking about pedophiles. Trump is walking in on little girls on pageants. And we're going to hear what his rebuttal is.
The diary?
When Trump is not a pedophile, judging girl pageants, walking in on them. Like, give me a fucking break.
Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it and get this.
Did you see the diary?
When Trump is not a pedophile, judging girl pageants, walking in on them. Like, give me a fucking break.
Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Trump
Did you see the diary?
When Trump is not a pedophile, judging girl pageants, walking in on them. Like, give me a fucking break.
Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what?
Did you see the diary?
When Trump is not a pedophile, judging girl pageants, walking in on them. Like, give me a fucking break.
Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what?
Did you see the diary?
What the hell is that?
Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it. Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it. Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Trump
they didn't hire him to judge it. They didn't hire him to go back there walking in on them. But you're a Republican, so it's
Trump
cool.
has been. Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it. Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Trump. Hey, bro. Hey, they hired him to judge it, and guess what? Trump.
They hired him to judge it. His answer to a man walking in on 15-year-olds is that they hired him. They didn't hire him to judge. It doesn't even matter. That they hired him to judge it, so it's okay. So you sleazy piece of shit. So maybe in your twisted, sick, deranged mentality, maybe the LGBTQ community, like, hey, look, they told me to come over, so I guess I can walk in on them and do things to kids and children, cause hey, they invited me over, they paid for me to come. Like, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? This is his response. And everyone on the panel don't say shit. So he thinks it's okay for grown men to walk in on his daughter. Grown men to walk in on his daughter changing. So if he hires someone, let's say he hires a contract to do work on his apartment or whatever, right? So contractor hired to do work in his apartment. Hey, I'm about to do this in your daughter's room and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll do that, or anywhere in the job. If the guy could just walk in on his daughter changing, hey, you hired the guy. What the fuck, yo? Serious?
They're hiring to go back there, walking in on them. But you're Republican, so it's cool.
Trump.
Like I said Trump just said, you're Republican, so you're going to make excuses for that. So he says his excuse for that is that he hired them. They hired him, so it's okay if he walks in on 15-year-old girls.
Trump has been investigated more than anybody ever.
Yo, what does that have to do? I showed you guys testimony and articles of those women, of those girls that are now women saying Trump did that. Did they charge Trump, or them or their parents charge Trump with that? No, they didn't. But does that mean that what they're saying is a lie? All those girls, not girl, all those girls are lying, right? So according to him, you could commit a crime, but if you weren't charged or convicted for it, you didn't do the crime. This is Republican logic. This is R1 logic. Remember, he's not a Pan-Africanist. He's a poser. He's a wannabe. Because you heard it. He said it himself that I'm a racist. I agree with racists. I agree with racists hurting black people. That's what he said. He said yes, I'm all that. Right. So this is his mind frame, and the cowards on the panel. And in the chat I didn't check the chat. No one is checking him on like, bro, are you fucking serious?
Ever, bro, in history, and they found nothing.
What the hell does that mean?
He's been investigated more than anybody in history, and they found nothing.
Okay.
He has been investigated more than anybody in history? That's a pretty large claim. He's been investigated a lot, yes, because he tried to get away with a lot of crimes. And in America, there's supposed to be checks and balances, but those checks and balances end when it falls in the Republicans' lap. But this is his response to Trump deliberately walking in on 15-year-old girls. This so-called man can never, ever say about what it is to be a man or anything about children. Your response is, well, they hired him to judge the pageant so he could walk in on 15-year-old girls in changing in their dressing room.
Okay, all right.
That's all I'm saying. Cool. Wait, look. Trump harassed. Look, here's what we say. Trump harassed women. You telling me you care about Trump harassing women, but you don't care about dudes actually having sex.
When you gonna let me go? You're not gonna let me talk.
See, so Aunt Nam, at least, you have some people trying to. I mean, he picks probably like the person has a good point, but I wanted to have a person that had a more viable point, but person's right. Trump does harass women. He want to grab him by the pussy and all that, right? According to Brandon. This is the best president we ever had. You know what I'm saying? Clinton is not even as bad. Look, I will welcome George Bush right? If George Bush could have ran again, if George Bush could run again, George Bush Jr. could run again instead of Donald Trump, I would vote for George Bush. Because George Bush is against what Trump was doing. He's on record saying, trying to, check Trump on it because George Bush is your typical average Republican, right? And at this point, it's like kind of like a godsend, right? I would vote for George Bush right now. Yo, this is horrible, man. This dude condones pedophilia as long as they're Republicans, especially if it's Donald Trump.
To say so and be as a man, you will say you're not gonna let me talk.
I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk.
And as a man, I'm not gonna stay on there and you just talking, trying to say I'm a pedophile and all.
You see, I'm saying he said he's how long say you gonna let me talk? You let me talk? He's not letting me talk. All he's doing is character assassination, and I pretty much I had it at this point.
I didn't say you were a pedophile. I didn't say you were a pedophile. I said you support pedophilia.
Exactly. He's trying to say he's not slick. He's trying to put some correlation. If you voted for Joe Biden, you support pedophilia. The only person in this panel right here that voted for Joe Biden was me. And he just bullied Christine saying, well, yeah. Joe Biden was saying that trans men are really women and blah, 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 when Joe Biden never ran on that, but he bullied her into admitting that and saying, well, so that's what you voted for.
You fucking did.
Why are you getting mad?
I didn't see that.
Because I got fucking kids.
Why are you so mad at me?
I'm a pedophile.
Why are you so mad at me?
I support Joe Biden. You sound like a fucking
You should be that mad at yourself. You should be mad at yourself.
You should be mad at yourself too. That
no, you should keep it real.
And you lying like a bitch.
I didn't hear him say that at all.
I didn't say any of that.
Make an equivalency and saying because I vote for Joe Biden that I'm okay with.
I'm getting so he's exposing him. We know who's already exposed. You know what I'm saying? We already know who's exposed right now. You will let you think a grown man walking in on kids on 15-year-old girls is okay. Is okay, but I'm getting emotional. But I'm the one. No, I'm sorry. I'm the one that's getting exposed. Where you just sitting here doing, pretty much basically lying on me, trying to draw these false equivalencies, leading the breadcrumbs of saying, well, hey, if you support Joe Biden, you're a pedophile. You didn't have to say that outright. Like, well, Kofi, so you're a pedophile because you voted for Joe Biden. You're not saying that directly. You're saying if you voted for Joe Biden, you're a pedophile. You're not directing it towards me. You're directing it towards the panel, and I'm part of the panel, the only person that voted for Joe Biden. So, yes, I will take offense to that, you pedophile-loving beta bitch.
Pedophilia.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Okay, did he just say that he didn't say I didn't say it?
Now, I did say that. No, he said I called. Hey, you see how he moved the goalpost? Christine first said I was calling him a pedophile. Christine, didn't he first say I called him?
See, then he wants to mute me.
Some bitch nigga shit right now.
Okay. Christine, didn't he first say that I called him a pedophile? Then he tried to in the middle of the
then you denied him. Then you said then you end up calling me it.
No, I said that you support pedophilia. I admitted to saying that.
I don't.
Can I respond? And you see, and this is what I'm saying. The Republican Party is a cult, and you are the perfect example of it. Because when it comes to you, you use your brain for everything else. When it comes to the Republican Party, you shove it up your ass, and you have a cult mentality. Because you can see shades of gray and everything else, but politically, you don't use your brain for nothing else.
Hey, listen, I want to use my daughter's brain.
Can I talk?
I want to use my daughter's brain real quick. Samir, tell me, of these two things, okay, we're going to do a quick test on you. What's worse?
And this is where I just fell off. I'm not going to, see, I care about children, right? Right? We're not responsible for our parents' stupidities and fuck-ups, right? So I'm going to leave because I don't want to, talk bad about him in front of his daughter. I don't want to. I'm not gonna bring. I don't want to do that at all. Right. So I left because I was upset, but I'm in control of my emotions. I was like, you know what? Let me leave. So I left. So he's gonna bring his daughter on to draw. Again, it's gonna be another false equivalency. It's not gonna. But you'll see what I'm talking about.
First, a person who jaywalks, you know what jaywalking is, right? A person who jaywalks or a person who commits murder.
So a person who jaywalks or a person who commits murder. So I'm going to say that the person that jaywalks is the equivalency of racism, and murder is the equivalency of pedophilia. Again, which no Democratic president ran on pedophilia, so he's lying. So that's already a false equivalency, and that's him showing himself as to be this, again, watering down racism and trying to make racism something not, as a black person, you should not be concerned about at all. Racism is not that big a deal. It's okay. We don't have to fight racism, right? So that's why he demeaned it and lowered it to jaywalking compared to murder.
I can't. Okay. What's worse, a person who stabs somebody or a person who kicks somebody in the butt?
So again, another false equivalency. So someone who stabs somebody would be the pedophilia, and someone that kicks somebody in the butt would be racism. Again, another false equivalency. But let's say, I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let the little princess finish answering all his questions.
Okay, what's worse, a racist bigot or a pedophile? Thank you, baby. Daddy loves you.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. Now, I didn't hear what his daughters say, or I didn't hear what she said. But let's say she said pedophilia, right? As a child, right? Knowing what that is, you will feel like, okay, I'm more targeted than that because it's specifically towards me. And I understand her particular adolescent mind frame. But why, like I said before, why am I picking and choosing as an adult? Why am I picking and choosing as an adult? You, and as a supposed so-called father, you're supposed to protect your children from all things, not one thing. You don't say, well, you know what? I'm going to protect my children from, I don't know. Okay, he's a bit of a gun nut. I'm going to protect my children from guns and being shot and stuff like that. Okay, what about when your kid gets, kicked, punched, stabbed? Well, that's not that important. It's not really that important. But hey, guess what? She knows how to avoid guns and being shot and things like that. Look, people getting stabbed or beat to death, it's not that important than getting shot. Like that makes, like, that's what he's trying to say. And after this point, I just fucking signed off because it's like no, I can't take it. And I wasn't gonna come back, but I was like, you know what? Let me come back. I got myself together because I don't like being lied on. So about to bring it to a close. So this is the juncture where I kind of want it. So hold on.
Okay, that's kid logic. Kid logic.
Right.
Kofi's trying to make an equivalence between pedophilia and this guy hurt my feelings.
Right. No, so
And so we know, obviously, he's lying.
get where Kofi is coming from. So he left, but the point he's trying to make is you did not directly say you're a pedophile, but you said that if I agree, you didn't say that, but if you're saying that the point he's trying to make, if you're saying that me supporting the Democrats is me supporting pedophilia, which on paper, I mean, not as an individual. That's what I said, right? Because when you individualize it, it gets personal. But think of us as a collective, as a community. Are there a particular party that is supporting this thing when you vote?
So I would give her that. What she is saying is correct. Party-wise, yes, and not everyone agrees with everything in their party. So it's very asinine and ridiculous to say, well, oh, so you're in this party, you agree with this. You will have to ask that particular individual if they agree with it. And if that individual says yes, then yeah, okay, he agrees with it. If that person says no, okay, he's a part of this party, but he doesn't agree with that part of your party. And this is the part, like, at least she gets it. At least she gets it. He gets it, but he doesn't want to get it because he's R1 first. He'd rather have a dishonest conversation and disparage me than have an honest conversation. But again, he has to do projection because he knows his party is full of pedophiles. The same thing that he's so adamant and so against, full of pedophiles. He, according to him, he would let a grown man walk in on his naked 15-year-old daughter, according to him. That's what he said. He said, especially when it comes to Trump. So if his daughter was a part of that beauty pageant, he's such a beta male. He's such he got the hots for Trump so bad that he wouldn't care. This nigga would probably think it's an honor. Ooh, Trump saw my daughter naked. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. He probably asked, well, what was it like? You know what I'm saying? This is some sick shit.
For them, you really support, even if not in your mind, you support. But you support everything they stand for, right?
You're giving them power to make decisions.
You're giving them power, right?
So
I saw that thing that he put there. I'm not going to go back. It says a racist can be a pedophile, which is very true.
So as an individual, people might be like, hey, you support. You'd be like, no, I don't support that. But on paper, when it comes to the political dynamics, that's what it is from a political standpoint. Now, I can say me, I don't believe in everything the Republicans stand for, right? But for me, all of that goes to the side when it comes to this pedophilia thing. But because of my position, I now politically support, with my vote, everything that they stand for.
Yes, you politically, because you're probably a shitty parent, or you got to do some real parenting, because, again, this is something that's not even a law yet, or something that they push to be a law. You rather be seen as a race traitor in the hopes that the Dems don't put a law that would teach kids, will have transgender people in their schools. Now, as far as the whole pedophilia thing, there's no, he can't, I would like to see a bill on the floor condoning pedophilia, which there is none. So I'm going to go to the one what we both agree on what they're actually doing, which is giving kids hormonal blockers and drugs. This is why I'm saying these two are shitty fucking parents. Because if you're afraid of that, now this can only be done. So right now they're trying to take away rights from the parents. So if your child is on some like, hey, look, so you have like a daughter, and your daughter's like, hey, look, I think I'm a boy. I want to be a boy. If this rule was to be in place, if this law was to be in place, I think I'm a boy, and I'm afraid to tell my parents that I want to go through the transition. The Democrats, this segment of the Democrats want to make this a law where the system could arbitrarily and unilaterally just say, okay, we're going to give you hormonal drugs. If your parents find out, the parents have no legal standing to stand in the way. I'm totally against that. That's what they're talking about right now. It's not a law, right? But it's something that, hey, could happen. And I agree with them when it comes to that, right? But again, it goes to them being a fucking shitty parent, that they don't know how to parent. if you have a close relationship with your children, and you talk to your children, you should know what's going on with your children, so they won't have to go behind your back and do those things. But this is where you have to parent, right? Not do little photo ops like he does, right? You have to know your children. For you to be so adamantly against this, you must be like it must going to be directly affect you, because you don't know how to parent. You let the system raise your kids, just like how racism is not that big a deal, and you don't want to face that and things like that. What did Christians say? We've been fighting this. All right, since what pedophilia is not something that just happened 4 years ago. Pedophilia has been around since the dawn of time. So y'all niggas stop fighting pedophilia, and you're picking the baton up back to fight it again. I don't understand. I don't understand that what you're trying to say here. I don't understand that dynamic where you want to tie you want to only fight one thing when you're capable of fighting both. But that's why I come to say that you're horrible parents and you're lazy parents, and you don't have a good relationship with your kids because you are so worried about what other people are going to do and influence your kids. It sounds like you have minimal to no influence on your children.
I gotta eat that. It doesn't mean I believe in it, but I gotta eat that because I'm looking at this one thing, which for me is more important than any other thing. But once I vote for
Understood, because you're a horrible parent.
them and give them power, there's a whole other host of things that come with that. So I'm willing to eat.
But now they have the power. They have the power. Please, somewhat. Maybe I don't know. I'm not saying this just to sound, righteous or no. I really don't know if there's a bill for pedophilia. I want to see the Democrat representative that has look. I want pedophilia to be a thing now. I want it to be seen as a civil right. That's what I want to see right now.
Eat everything else because you're not going to turn my son into a girl, and you're not going to be.
How? Wow. The only way this is like I said this before. Only way this is going to work if you don't have a close relationship with your son, and your son goes to his guidance counselor, his teacher, his assistant principal, whoever is in charge of health, and say, I do not want to be a boy, I want to be a girl. And that's the extreme, and that's the extreme. So let's say their literature, right? Let's say it's literature, right? The fact that you can't, this thing is a real thing. The fact that you can't sit down and talk to your son and let him know what's right and what's wrong shows you that you are a horrible, lazy parent. That you are not equipping your children for the world. So even if I was to agree with them, right, which for the most part that I do, I see they're so fearful of it because they don't have a relationship with their children. Because they let the system raise their kids. But it's going to get a little bit more juicier.
Out here flopping your drag queen booty in front of children and be okay with me. I'm not cool with it.
The thing is, what's the most immediate threat to your children right now? That's the whole
This whole pedophilia situation.
Right. So when you talk about this is the racism, right? Racism ain't stopping you from doing shit.
Racism was worse back in the day. Yes, racism is.
So if racism is not stopping you from protecting your children, why won't you fight racism? If nothing can stop you from protecting your children, fight racism and pedophilia. But you can't fight pedophilia as a Republican because you'd be going against your own constituents.
We acting like we still need traveling passes and shit. Right. We acting like we can't walk around at night because the Klan gonna come down there.
Again with the whole Klan bullshit.
It's about what's the most immediate threat. And I know that this 13-year-old girl right here that's under my care, this 13-year-old girl under my care is at more risk of being abused and permanently scarred by a racist, by a pedophile at her school even, than she is of being killed or harmed by a racist.
Thank you. Thank you very much. He just said his child has more has more probability of being affected by a pedophile at her school than a racist. So you willingly have your child in a school or know your child is a part of the school that will promote that, right? Which meaning you having the school raise your children, right? So if you don't want your child to be negatively affected by that, right, and it's something that's an immediate, he said himself, an immediate threat, why won't you be a fucking man and a parent and prepare your child for this threat? You don't wait for the threat to get here, right? According to him, the threat's already here. It's an immediate threat. It's knocking at your door. Who cares about the Klan? You know, who cares about racism? No one cares about that. We niggas, we're Republicans. We don't give a fuck. We love that shit. We love racists. We hug them. We love them. We do everything and hope to get in their good graces. That's all good. But but this is about you being a shitty parent and being so scared of the others and what the others are gonna do to your kids.
Very true.
And every black person in America knows that.
That's
but
what it is
some
right
of
now.
us, we're so beholden to this certain group of people. See, me, I'm not beholden to the Republican Party. I vote for
You're a lying piece of shit.
I don't vote for
So I'm not gonna go past this lying piece of
I
shit.
just say, who's the most conservative person who I like Ron Paul. I like his policies.
And warfare and everything nowadays. Got a quick question. And you know where I stand on all this. I hate both sides, and they're treating it like gang warfare and everything nowadays. Everybody's fighting over whose color is better and whose master is better. So here's my quick question: for everybody that voted for Joe Biden and everything, did they not watch in the early '90s and everything when Clarence Thomas was getting voted in for the Supreme Court and everything? Did anybody watch the questioning that Joe Biden did towards him?
Jason Daniels, you're a fucking shitty parent too, because you're gonna let the system raise your kids. So if you agree with the woman, both of you are fucking shitty ass parents and don't know how to raise your children, and you don't prepare your children for the dangers and the pitfalls of life. You don't teach your children that. You don't teach your children at all.
Did anybody ever watch Joe Biden when they passed the crime bill and everything, and all the racist statements and everything he said during that? Like, he was a racist senator, and then all of a sudden he can say sorry and he's forgiven for all of that. Like, I don't understand that. That's where it's like, it's okay.
It's these people's.
Go ahead, B.
These sentiments are not based in logic. And that's what I try to tell people about. Oh, Brandon's a Trump supporter. Okay, that's fine. Go.
In some point of stuff that they fear. And it
Everybody is prejudiced.
Sorry.
People are using racism out of context totally.
He's a fucking idiot. There's different types of prejudices. One based upon race is called racism. So if you're prejudiced against people based upon so-called race, it's racism. That's all it is. If you're prejudiced against women, it's sexism. This is remedial bullshit. But again, he's R1, so he has to water down racism. He's not a Pan-Africanist. None of that.
But go ahead.
So I look at it, Kofi. I don't know if you've been listening this whole time, but my question to you is, how, if you're saying that the conservatives are racist and everything, or the Republicans are racist, and I'm not arguing that in any standpoint for Republican rights or whatever, I don't give a fuck about it anymore. Well, how could you vote for somebody that put so many minorities in jail with his racist crime bill that he did? I don't understand how you can say that the Republicans are racist, but not say that the Democrats are. That's what I don't understand. If you're so angry about racism and everything, and that's the biggest concern for you, then why did you vote for Joe?
Well, I'm gonna correct him. It's not the biggest concern. So he's been listening to Brandon and not listening to me, but he's asking me a question, saying why Joe for Joe Biden if Joe Biden did all those things. So
Joe Biden.
Good question.
All right, if I can answer without Brandon getting triggered because he's a hardcore Republican. So when I say truth, he gets upset.
You don't have to go down that path. You're talking with me right now.
No, I am, but we are on his platform, and you.
Man, you're talking to a white man.
And well, you're Republican, so you got that respect like that. I don't. So the answer
He's not a Republican.
See what I'm saying?
he's a retarded. Brandon's retarded. I'm saying he's trying to make fun of me. Oh, respect him. That's a white man he's talking to. I'm saying I'm not a Republican like you. You being Brandon. I don't see a white person and start behaving right. Oh, white person around now. Oh, well, mind your manners now. Like, I'm not a Republican. You don't give a fuck about racists. You don't give a fuck about white people harming black people. So when you say that, look in the mirror and be proud of it.
He's an anarchist. He don't even believe in the government.
Kofi, you have to understand, you're assuming things.
No. You asked me a question. I'm trying to answer your question. Within your question, you made a certain assumption. So I commend you for asking me the question for clarity. So let me just answer your question.
Okay, please do. Please answer and give him his time. Please do.
I said it before on his channel before, and he knows it. Yes, I knew about what Joe Biden did, right? Two of them are racist. One of them used to be all out open racist, working with segregationists, because you know he was against busing and all that. Yes, I knew all of that, right? And this is the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans, right? Joe Biden is more of on the right of the Democratic Party, so he's cool with the Republicans, which are what? Open racists, right? They draw a line in the sand. Brandon don't care. He step over the line and give him a hug and a kiss. So so other people like me, I only voted for Joe Biden not because I agree with Joe Biden on everything. I already agree with Joe Biden probably like on 20-30% of the things that he says. The reason why I do for Joe Biden, right, is only because everybody does this, including Brandon, including other people. But when I do it, he has to vilify it. People are like, you know what? I don't like this person, but you know what? This person is a better option than the person in front of me. So if I vote for Joe Biden was just a middle finger to the Republican Party for what they were doing. They were breaking all kinds of rules, laws, getting away with it. It had nothing to do with my admiration or me liking Joe Biden. Same thing with Obama. I voted for Obama once. The second time, I didn't vote for Obama. If I had it my way, right, instead of Trump, I would want Bernie Sanders instead. Bernie Sanders was, to me, the better choice, and I agree with 80% of the things that he said and 80% of the things that he wanted to do. So this false narrative that Brandon, anyone that follows his channel or my channel, know he does this false equivalency of saying, well, I'm just a hardcore Democrat and that's it. No, that's him. That's him projecting himself onto me.
Okay.
And on the odds for as a Republican, because he changed his position on Republicans all the time. First, vote for your interests. Then I'm a diehard Democrat. Donald Trump is the best shit ever. So who has a fucking cult mentality? Me, I'm able to switch. I can say fuck Joe Biden, fuck Donald Trump. Why? Because I don't give a fuck about any of them like that. It's about politics. See, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I don't do double talk how Brandon would say, just to sound fucking good, but then he puts his flag in the ground on the Republican side. I don't do shit like that.
Okay.
I don't do that.
Wait, one second. Before you and me start going back and forth and everything, here's one. Let's take a...
So the guy asking me the question, oh my gosh, your name, StreamYard is crap. If I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. What is a Democratic talking point? If you didn't understand what I was saying, I think I was clear on what I was saying, but I give you more clarity as of to why this is a loaded question. So you have no political affiliation. I get that, right? But the talking point that you have is a Republican talking point, right? Because to say that Joe Biden politically, unilaterally just signed the crime bill and that was it, and the Republican is like, ooh, look at those bad Democrats want to criminalize black people. That's bullshit. The crime bill was a bipartisan agreement, which means that Democrats and Republicans were on board with the crime bill. So who's responsible for the crime bill? Politically, Democrats and Republicans. So yeah, Joe Biden signed it, right? But so have other Republicans. Other Republicans have signed. I think George Bush, it was that signed it, and other Republicans, they signed that bill. Even Bernie Sanders signed the crime bill. But the thing about Bernie Sanders said about the crime bill, and this is why it's a bipartisan agreement, there's things in there that both parties want, right? So they put both things in there. They really hate the other thing. Bernie Sanders is like, look, this is going to be a disaster. Bernie said that. He said, I'm only signing because there's protections in there for women and other things. But this is going to be a disaster. And Bernie was right. But here we comes with the Republicans. Or people are just politically ignorant. Joe Biden signed the crime bill. Like he did it all by himself. So I hope I answered your question further there.
All emotions out of the conversation because this is something that gets people fired up. I'm going to also say that
I was cool. He's trying to call me a pedophile. I would fucking play that shit.
Take it.
No man's gonna call another grown man with kids a pedophile and fucking think they're gonna walk away fucking standing. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Take yourself out of your own shoes right now. Why don't you and me switch shoes real quick and look at it from the other person's side of the box, though. That's all I'm going to ask. So look at it from this standpoint. Looking at racism compared to the pedophilia, what's the most important and everything like that. We, as a species, we have dealt with racism since the start of time where people started migrating and everything.
And I disagree with that. Right. I disagree with a lot of stuff. I understand where he was going with it. But historically speaking, no, racism is not something that started when people started migrating out of Africa. Not even when they were in Asia. Not even until they went to the Bering Strait and went to America all the way to the South America. Oh, the Wabo's getting triggered, right? As far as human migration. Racism is a social construct that was created by Europeans. When people didn't have prejudice against other people, so, okay, you're white. So, well, this would be more tribalism. People were more tribalistic back then. So you had the Franks that didn't like the Celts. The Celts didn't like the Lombards. The Lombards didn't like the Saxons. And that's what it was about. Even what we consider so-called race right now, right? Even back then, you had the Italians, they didn't like the barbarians. So you had the Romans, they didn't like the barbarians, which is the Germanic tribes, right? You had the Romans that didn't like the so-called Arabs. They didn't like the Asiatics and stuff like that. That wasn't racism at all. Racism is a new European construct where it puts white people at the top and everybody else at the bottom. That's what racism is. White people invented it, and that's what it is, and that's what it means.
Because that was difference of appearance, difference of religion, whatever you want to say, brings fear, and fear brings hate. So we've dealt with that for hundreds of thousands of years, or 5,000 years, or however.
Not at all.
Look at it from. It does not matter. Those are your beliefs, and I respect people.
I look, I don't have beliefs. This is history. We're doing history here. We're not doing beliefs. This is not church. This is not the mosque. It's not a synagogue. Racism is a new construct created around say like the 1600s.
For their beliefs, as long as it doesn't deal with fucking little kids. So, I look at it from the standpoint, why wouldn't we really try to look at it? Why don't we find common ground instead of going back and forth on 20% of disagreeing?
No, there can't be common ground, because when one person supports pedophilia, there's no more room for common ground.
So, according to him, there's no room for common ground when it comes to pedophilia. So you should fucking jump off a building right now, because Donald Trump wants to fuck his daughter. Donald Trump. Well, you know what? Why am I saying this again? He's okay with this. He just said it's okay for Donald Trump to walk in on naked 50-year-old girls because he was asked to he was being paid for to judge Miss Teen USA. So, like, you know, I'm not even going to do this to y'all again. This is who we're talking to. We're talking to a pedophile right now, or we're talking to a person who loves pedophile and don't mind pedophilia as long as they're Republicans. That's who we're talking to right now. So, yes, there is no common ground, so fucking off yourself.
Come on, B. You know you would never. And B, you know what you listened to him. You heard what he just said. He said, I supported Biden. He said a bunch of garbage, but ultimately what he said.
I said a bunch of garbage. He can't even repeat what I said. That's why I believe he's on the spectrum. That's why I think he's mildly retarded. You're just so blindsided by this hate and this false narrative, this ritual. You only see Democrats are this, Democrats are this. They can't be anything else. And even if I'm a Democrat like he says, I'm saying no to that. But his tiny reptilian Republican brain, as a degenerate pedophile lover that he is, he can't. He's struggling with that. He has issues with that. It does not compute. And he just can't get it.
You supported Obama. You voted for Obama once,
man,
but it's okay.
Pedophilia.
But it's okay. Obama was about.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on.
And that's what I was saying. He supported Obama twice, right? And knowing twice, right? And if you remember, he said that, hey, Obama, when he was talking to Christine, Obama started all this LGBTQ shit, right? Gave him validity when he just unilaterally said, I'm the president, okay, gay people to get married now. Obama did that, and I was pissed. I remember I was in Georgia, I was chilling and stuff like that, came back, it's a national thing, but, I was doing stuff in Georgia or whatever, came back, and all of a sudden people was like, yo, gay people get married in New York now. I was like, nah, they're going to get married in Massachusetts. That was the closest place where, you can gay couples can legally get married. Like, no, it's a national thing now. Obama could do it. But he gets off voting for Obama twice, and he shouldn't be vilified at all. I voted for Obama once, problem. I voted for Joe Biden once, problem. So you can see the whole hypocrisy here, right? You see the whole hypocrisy here.
Okay, hold on real quick. This is a straight up question, Kofi. What's worse, racism or pedophilia?
Me as a black man? Both.
You see what I'm saying? Me as a black man. Because I'm a father. I'm a black father. I'm not just a father.
No. So racism and pedophilia are on the same level?
So you're going to pick. You're going to protect. You're going to...
That nigga.
Cowardness. You can see that he just kicked me off. Right? Cowardness. He does not kick. Only time I see him kick people off, if they like cursing a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because, I don't think this Negro got a real job at all or anything like that. Only time he kick people off is when they start cursing, like, yo, come on, you get me demonetized. Come on, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Or they, cursing a lot, or they just way out of pocket. You can't have a conversation with them because they're continually cursing, they're continually yelling and screaming. That's the only time I see him kick people out. Them and me. That's the only time I see that. And this is what he done. He runs away. He runs away. Why? Because he wants me. He's asking a black father if he's gonna pick pedophilia or racism. When if we're doing racism is everybody involved. So we're pretty much talking about the same thing. So I'm gonna fight pedophilia and not racism, but the pedophiles are not going to come after my black child. If anybody's going to be under attack, right? If we're going to be under attack, we get the least protection. We're the most over police, but we get the least protection politically. So if I'm asking, look, Joe Biden even didn't do any type of police reform or put like, hey, a law in place, like, hey, like don't kill black people with impunity. He did nothing of the sort. The Republicans don't give a fuck about y'all niggas, and they ain't gonna put no goddamn protections to protect black people. But you're saying that I should make a decision based upon that and hope that it trickles down and hope that white racists will find it in their hearts to protect our children. Yeah. So this has pretty much come to an end right now. And we all just say that he's basically a hypocrite. So it's going to get real hot right now. Real hot, real quick. And we'll be pretty much done. And then, yes, I'm going to be taking some answers and some questions. I'm going to do a live on this. I took my time because I'm setting my shit up. Yeah, long time waiting. It's like a Tyson fight. You know what I'm saying? You know that fight's coming in like in 2-3 months, and boom, it's totally worth it. So I'm going to do a live on this. I'm just laying the groundwork, right? So no one could come with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just play the remainder of it. It's real quick, real fast.
And I'm not Muslim. I don't have to worry about none of this stuff. But seeing
Raised by iPads and TV and everything like that, way worse. Like how? And I understand this. I got 2 small kids. What do we do to keep our teachers on? Keep them on a leash to where they don't do that.
Yeah, keep them on a leash because they work for us. They get paid our tax dollars, and parents need to organize. Like for me, my children go to a private Islamic school. Okay. I am so happy, and I'm not Muslim. I don't have to worry about none of this stuff.
So remember what I said about bad parenting? So she's so lazy. Like, this is sad as a Jamaican woman, just pathetic. So she is gonna have, instead of her teaching her, like I said, I don't know, to be fair, I don't know how old her children are or anything like that. But instead of preparing her children for all the craziness that's out there, she rather indoctrinate her children into Islam. Islam is worse than white supremacy. Like you think racist is racism? Islam is the worst. So she rather indoctrinate her kids in a religion that hates black people than teach her kids teach her kids how to avoid certain people and certain languages when people trying to tell you lies. This is so let's say she has young kids. It's a very, very simple thing. My youngest is 8. And she knows the difference between what a boy and a girl. A boy is this, a girl is that. Children know that at the age of 4 or 5. They know, they go to kindergarten, they go to pre-K. They know, okay, that's a boy, that's a girl. They have that understanding, right? So for you to not for your child not to know that, you tell your child like, hey, look, this is this is that, this is, this is a boy, this is a girl, that's how it is. We know that's not what it is. When someone says it's something else, you prepare them for that. But no, I'm such a lazy parent. I'm gonna take my children. I'm such a lazy, ignorant parent. I'm gonna take my children, me picking them, and put them in an Islamic school where, I don't know if it's a black or white Islamic school, but to me that's like putting them in a Catholic school. It is pretty much almost no difference. You rather get them indoctrinated with the bullshit rather than be a good parent. I just wanted to add that because that really, really blew my mind. That really blew my mind. But hold on, we're gonna go a little bit forward here.
And look at it from the standpoint, we've got to really get figured out on, we have dumbed down our education. The last 60 years, we have dumbed it down, and blacks to hurt blacks at all. You still went for racist. So you didn't, bro, I fucked up. You got it. You could direct it, and if you, this is what he does. Lawsuit charges Donald Trump with raping a 13-year-old girl. Explain this. You just explained it. It's a lawsuit. They brought up charges. Was there a conviction? Did they find him guilty? I don't know. You're going to have to tell me something. So what you're doing...
Excuse me. You see how he's making excuses? Allegations don't mean nothing to him. And I've shown you more I'm sorry, than allegations. Right? I've shown you where he admitted it. I showed you where he violated women. I mean, he was charged with raping a 13-year-old. Like I said in the beginning, when a Democrat gets accused of that, what do? Okay. That looks bad. Totally bad optics. Let me resign. No, Donald Trump doubles down because he has willing degenerates like this person that's willing to do cover. They have taken the norm. Everything, the extreme is now the norm when it comes to of what is right and what is wrong, right? So just all the lawsuit and the charges that came up against him, not good enough. Him saying he want to fuck his daughter, not good enough. Him walking in on 15-year-old girls and things like that, according to Brandon, so what? Doesn't matter. But I care about kids. Matt Gaetz, no problem. He could mess with 17-year-old girls, no problem. Trump saying that, hey, no, I wish pedophiles that do kids trafficking, sex trafficking, that is also fine. At this point, people, we have to leave these degenerates alone and let them implode on themselves. Let them implode on themselves and all the shit. That's why I love the internet. This is not going away.